That was perfectly clear. I wouldn't have changed a single word that you said in that description. I've never wanted to have sex with a pot pie, but like, I'd have sex with that pot pie.
We're all weak to stepping on nails.
Let me preface this by saying I wrote a script.
Daytona Beach is like two mild inconveniences from being a post-apocalyptic wasteland anyway.
So many of my tabs say semen.
Are you guys ready for this weird, horny adventure that we're all about to go on?
You can't handcuff me for skanking.
This motherfucker gaslights you.
Diet Coke and Sorrow will be chapter 4.
And against all odds, Kyle, we became those swirly weirdos.
This whole podcast is a very negative mouthfeel.
Hello and welcome to Debate This, the show where no one is right, but someone is definitely wrong. In this show, we take time out of our busy adult lives to talk about comic books, video games, and how in the last few weeks of 2021, the world has decided to flip upside down, and all of a sudden, everyone hates Cowboy Bebop and Pokemon, and everyone strangely has decided that they love League of Legends. Have you guys noticed this on Twitter?
It's been cool to hate Pokemon for about 3 or 4 years now.
Yeah.
The tide has turned and more people have realized that it is more of a Call of Duty series of games than a original series of games, and it's been cool to hate on Pokemon for a little while.
I'm just not on the same corners of the internet that Andrew's on, that are largely Pokemon and League of Legends, apparently.
And Cowboy Bebop.
And Cowboy Bebop. Again, it's true.
Apparently it's 2005 and all I can talk about is Pokemon and Cowboy Bebop.
I would like to venture a metaphor for how we all feel about League of Legends, though, because I don't think that the whole world has decided they love League of Legends. I think a lot of people just like Arcane on Netflix and probably don't realize that comes heavily from League of Legends, i.e., the way that way back in the 1900s, people loved Coca-Cola. Nobody told them there was cocaine in there, but they knew they loved Coca-Cola.
Excellent.
Well, and Cowboy Bebop, it's not the original property people hate.
No.
It's the soulless Netflix.
It's change, Kyle. It's change.
Thank you guys for breaking down my very fun joke. Speaking of
That's what we're
Pokemon
here
breaking down nostalgia. No, I want to talk about Pokemon today because one, we haven't talked about Pokemon actually in a while, if you can believe it, excluding Kyle. And but two, I think this is super relevant time. As we are recording this, the Brilliant Diamond and Shining Pearl Gen 4 remakes just came out, but a number of things have also happened. Pokemon Legends Arceus, aka Pokemon Legends : Breath of the Wild, was showcased. That wasn't a long time ago. That was like a month ago, maybe two.
That feels like years ago, dude.
Yeah, I know, right? And guess what? The fans don't hate it yet.
They haven't shown enough for fans to hate.
Yeah, but I think most importantly, at the time of this recording, Ed Sheeran is about to perform live virtually, and this is where it's unclear. He's either performing for a Squirtle wearing sunglasses or as a Squirtle wearing sunglasses. Not entirely sure.
Or with a Squirtle
Or
wearing.
with.
It's like a left shark situation.
Yeah. maybe all of them. It's hard to say. So after what I assume was a slam dunk success story by the time this episode comes out, Game Freak has decided they want more fourth wall breaking cultural touchstones. So they've come to us, Zeitgeist consultants to the stars, Debate This.
That's what our cards say.
That's right. To write a new collab event. Game Freak wants to add in a brand new gym leader that's pulled straight from the comics. And since this happens to be our specialty, they came to us to help. So, here to help me today are my crack team of metaversal pop culture hallmark experts. Matt, Revolution X starring Aerosmith Cole, Todd, Michael Jordan, Chaos in the Windy City, Thomas, and Kyle, 50 Cent, Blood on the Sand, Harper.
Two things real quick. One, I've played my game. I've played my game and I actually enjoyed it in my stupid younger age.
Yeah.
Andrew,
Yeah.
I love that you said 50 Cent.
Yep.
There wasn't a second F in there.
I'm sorry, was that wrong? Is that the wrong way to say it?
No,
'Cause
it
I'm
was
pretty sure it's the right way
correct.
to say it.
I would like to point out that last DT episode, Todd couldn't get Feige out correctly, but this episode, Andrew got Fiddy out correctly.
Well,
and I think
we
that's
say one
important.
way more than the other on this podcast, so
We all know Andrew's street cred is legitimate too.
Yeah.
Todd is a poser.
Well, he spends all
Yeah.
of his time talking about Final Fantasy 14 and how you can play for free up to level 50.
That was a really good joke, so I'm going to not correct you to say that it's up to level 60.
Well, but Matt's sentence is still true.
It is, yeah.
Oh my God! Cut the podcast. We're done.
Yeah.
It was a really good joke. Also, did any of you guys play Revolution X? It was an arcade only game.
I did not.
I have
know.
seen
man.
I've seen footage of it.
Which is weird because I had kind of a lot of Aerosmith related gaming merch there for a while. I'm surprised I didn't fit into this niche.
Let's just say 8-year-old Matt would have been hard for Revolution X
Yeah.
starring Aerosmith
Matt,
at the arcade.
I also went through an Aerosmith phase.
Hey man, I was crying when I met you, and now I'm dying to forget you.
He's on fire today.
Stop it.
We gotta capture this energy in a bottle. Let's get into it, guys. All right, so let's go one by one. Tell me what comic book character you guys are selecting as your new gym leader. And for folks that are listening, for the 5 of you that aren't familiar with the Pokemon formula, let me just quickly explain. So Pokemon
And for Todd.
and for Todd, specifically for Todd. So Pokemon.
In case you've been living under a rock since the 90s.
Yeah, you travel the world and you collect little monsters called Pokemon. And the point of the game is you work your way through 8 different gyms. These gyms are like basically area boss fights. Every gym has a gym leader, and that gym is based around a certain type. Type in Pokemons are like their elemental affinity or whatever. So you've got like fire, grass, water, but also psychic and flying and rock and fighting, just a bunch of those. And each gym leader specifically sticks to one type. And also, notoriously, not a single person in the entire game, except for the champion, holds 6 Pokemon at a time. Giving you, the player, the ultimate advantage for 2 reasons. 1, because you can always have the right type, and 2, you can have up to 6 Pokemon. So, what you guys are going to do today is you're going to select a gym leader from the comics. So give me their chosen type, and then every gym has kind of fun obstacles or like maybe like a puzzle or some sort of mini game that you have to do in order to get to the gym leader. So tell me what kind of obstacles and gimmicks your gym is going to involve. Let's start with Matt.
Yeah, so for those of you who haven't been on the Debate This train for a really long time, we did a Build Your Own Gym Leader episode like
Year
eons
one.
ago.
Yeah, pretty early.
Forever ago.
Yeah.
It was a while ago, yeah.
And I'll tag it in.
Go ahead.
So
I
I'll
remember
tag
what
it
you
in the
all
show
picked.
notes, but what I was going to say is that I did a crazy cat lady gym way back when, and I decided going in today that there was no way I was going to top Crazy Cat Lady Gym. And so instead, I was like, what's a comic property I really want to talk about? What if I just talked about that and warped it into that question? So here's what we're doing. It's time to break the glass on the Dark Horse : for emergency use only box, because today is the day I'm finally going to accost you with things about Umbrella Academy. Are you excited to talk about Umbrella Academy?
I actually
Great,
legitimately
thank you
am.
for
Let's get into
answering.
it. Answering in the affirmative, but that's fine. Move on.
So what we're doing today is a gym for number 4 of the Umbrella Academy, Klaus Hargraves. Now, am I wrong in assuming that Andrew, Todd, I know Kyle watched the show. Have you guys watched Umbrella Academy?
I Googled Klaus Hargreaves 5 seconds ago.
Okay, that's not nothing.
Thank you.
I Googled Klaus Hargreaves at this point 10 seconds ago.
Okay, great. So the whole thing about the Umbrella Academy is that it's a family of 7 adopted kids. All 7 kids have a superpower of some sort, and the guy who adopted them is this eccentric billionaire who, instead of like really giving them names, just numbered them in order of usefulness and calls them by that number. So
It's efficient.
yeah, Klaus Hargraves is number 4. The chosen family name for him is Klaus, but they call him number 4. His superhero name that just like doesn't really get ton of use in the comics or in the Netflix series is the Seance, because Klaus's power is that he can talk to ghosts. That's like his whole damn thing. Like, he talks to ghosts. In the comic books, he does some like other crazy stuff. He can like channel the dead, broadcast his consciousness through airwaves. He's got some telekinesis. Netflix was like, what if he just talked to ghosts? That'd be great, right?
Normal poltergeist stuff.
Yeah. So his whole thing is talking to ghosts, and it points manifesting those ghosts to like a corporeal form so that they can do things in fights through his power. Does that make sense?
Yes.
So he does the Mario Odyssey.
No.
Sound-
More
he
of like
does
he
the-
does like a
he does
necromancer.
The Riders
like,
of Rohan from Lord of the Rings.
Okay, got it.
Yeah.
There you go. Exactly. Riders of Rohan, a great reference that everyone will definitely
cultural
understand.
touchstone.
Matt, I think most of our listening base will get the Riders of Rohan reference.
Yeah, probably. Anyway, okay, so that's all the backstory you need. Klaus talks to ghosts. We're doing a ghost type gym. Now, here's where we're going to sort of mix source materials. One of my favorite things about the Netflix series is that they make Klaus into someone who accidentally becomes a cult leader, like fully unintentionally becomes a cult leader, and makes a bunch of friends who build him a mansion, and he's like, I didn't really ask for this, but I won't say no. And so his gym is going to be the mansion in which the cult of Klaus lives. And you've got to do the typical Pokemon thing where there's like 15 people to talk to before the gym leader, and 5 of them want to fight you to whittle down the HP of your Pokemon on the approach. But this is going to be crazy because there's going to be like 50 people who want to talk to you, and 10 of them are going to want to fight you to whittle down the HP of your Pokemon on the approach. Okay. And there's going to be some other sort of like fun ghosty things that you got to get through, but some of that stuff is going to give away my Pokemon team in the next question, so I don't want to spoil that surprise. But yeah, Klaus Hargraves, number 4 from the Umbrella Academy, doing a ghost gym in the mansion of the Klaus cult.
Love that. Well, I like that you're padding the game time so we can say this is 4 hours of new content. So you've got me so far. Todd, what have you got?
Well, we needed at least one person on this pitch today to look at graphic novels and just really pick us a good gym leader that's a villain. At least one of us had to pick a villain and make sure that it was a good gym leader. And so, Andrew, I'm excited to give you a gym leader who's a villain, and the only one who does that today. And so, Andrew, everyone kind of sometimes wants to root for like the mysterious dark villain.
Oh, Todd.
And you know, now as the only person who's in this boardroom today, giving you a good villain, I am going to bring Mephisto into the Pokemon franchise.
We did it!
Because he is the literal devil of Marvel, and I think would make an excellent late game gym leader. So, in Pokemon games, from what I've been told from people who play them on this podcast, the protagonist has already fought God with the power of friendship. So now they have to actually go toe-to-toe with the devil. And, you know, as just a surprise to no one, Mephisto is going to specialize in dark-type Pokemon. Further, Mephisto is just a character that this podcast is just all too familiar with. And so when the protagonist approaches Mephisto in Aberdeen Canyon or wherever the trainer is going to, whatever weird made-up Pokemon land.
Aberdeen Canyon?
Tell me that couldn't be the fictional name of a Pokemon land.
I think that's
know.
in Scotland.
Probably is. Don't look. Anyway, when the Pokemon person goes to whatever place it is, the trainer is going to walk into this like shadowy area that teleports them to this like shadowy land that. There's going to be a room with a bunch of Mephistos, tons of Mephistos, all on the screen, and
just Mephistos all the way down.
Just Mephistos all the way down. And so the protagonist will have to talk to the Mephistos to find the real Mephisto. But every time it talks to one, it has to enter into a battle, trying to narrow down which one is the real Mephisto. So this is a structure that we'd have to reflect the kind of sneaky persuasion that we find with Mephisto in the comics, but also to reflect the fact that for literal months we were saying everything is Mephisto, and we on this podcast and whoever plays this game deserve to be punished accordingly. It's not a bad premise so far.
You know, honestly, it's not. It's actually pretty good.
There are worse gyms.
There are indeed worse gyms, yes.
I'm upset that you're doing it, but I support your right to do it.
That's what the Aberdeen Canyon's all about, baby.
Aberdeen Canyon. Aberdeen is a city in Scotland, and I found that Aberdeen Canyon is a real place in the Yukon in Canada.
I will tell you that I typed in Pokemon Town name generator, and it gave me Aberdeen, and I was like, well, that's a real place, but I'm sure if I put Canyon on the end of it, that's fine.
You didn't just want to Google, like, Pokemon Town names? You went with the generator?
I wanted to make one up.
All right.
I mean, do we know that Mephisto lives on Cinnabar Island? Because I don't think he does.
I was pretty sure that Mephisto lived in Westview, New Jersey, but I don't need to unpack that baggage today.
I was just hoping you weren't going to ask me to name like 3 more Pokemon areas, because Pallet Town and Cinnabar Island's all I got for you.
Listeners, if you are confused on what the hell we are talking about, go check out the Ploose Loose, our Disney Plus watch-along show. It's available wherever you find podcasts at ploosesloose.com.
Specifically the WandaVision episodes where we drove ourselves crazy trying to find Mephisto in a show where he didn't exist.
Also, we don't own the ploosesloose.com.
Yet.
Maybe not yet. Hey, Kyle, why don't you do your thing now?
We're coming for you, ploosesloose.com. So, Andrew, there's really only one answer for this gym leader challenge.
Todd already said Mephisto.
Because
go on.
The gym leaders, like we've said, are the bosses for the Pokemon universe, and there's only one boss that we really want to see brought back from comics, and that is Thanos. So, Andrew, I am doing a Infinity Stone themed gym.
Okay.
In my Thanos rock type gym. However, this is going to be one of the more simple, straightforward puzzles you have to solve, because it's not really a puzzle. What is going to happen is Thanos, the gym leader, will have 6 Pokemon, and you, the trainer, ideally will have 6 Pokemon. And you each will pick half of your team to bring to the battle for the gym challenge. So it is perfectly balanced, as all things should be.
I thought you were going to say that the Thanos challenge is that you have to play 10 years worth of Pokemon before you actually get to face down with him in a 2-part movie.
I was ready to hear you had to throw Pikachu down a canyon, particularly Aberdeen Canyon.
Aberdeen Canyon!
in order to have the Soul Stone appear in your hand.
No, there will be some Pokemon falling from the sky though when we get to my party comp.
I wouldn't have it any other way for both a Pokemon episode and a Kyle answer. Okay, guys, so we've got let's see here. We've got number 4 from Umbrella Academy. We've got the God of Mischief. Well, I guess not the God of Mischief.
No, that's Loki.
That's Loki. Yeah, we've got
thing.
the devil himself, Mephisto. I was trying to do like a Faustian thing, but I forgot that there's actually God of Mischief, and then Thanos himself. Let's go through. Starting back with Matt. Tell me what your gym leader's lineup is. So again, reminder that gym leaders traditionally don't have all 6 Pokemon. They usually have like however many Pokemon they need that are like their signature. So they're always going to line up back to their type, but usually their last Pokemon is like, it's like their buddy. Like that's their real like kind of, star Pokemon. So give me your gym leader's lineup. You can use any Pokemon from any generation, including legendaries. There's like 800 and some to choose from. So fucking, if you can't find 4, that's a problem.
Have we not hit 1,000 yet? Are we not at 1,000
not hit
mons?
1,000 yet. The alternate type, like the alternate continent variations, really slowed down the expanse of
yes.
Pokemon. So not quite 1,000 yet.
As someone who just doesn't buy Pokemon games, I love those alternate types. I think those are so fun.
They're rad.
Yeah.
They're
great.
so good.
And it refreshes a lot of the old ones too. I mean, the only reason I bought Pokemon Shield is to get that fucking top hat Weezing.
Okay, all right, I'm going to answer the question now. So I want to sort of set a scene for you, because not only do I have the Pokemon that I'm going to use, but I've got the order that they're coming out in, because I think that that's really important. So to give you a little bit more backstory about number 4, he is very much the burnout of the family. So the backstory of the Umbrella Academy is that these 7 kids got adopted by this eccentric billionaire and were immediately turned into a superhero fighting team and like trained under this really kind of abusive regimen and way of life.
I was gonna say, calling him an eccentric billionaire kind of undersells it. He's a bastard. Like he's a mean
the
old
worst.
man.
But we're not talking about the father problems or the daddy issues created by Umbrella Academy. We're just talking about
We have
the
enough
fallout.
episodes of the show about that.
That's true. That's actually our third category on iTunes. So we get comedy, we get video games, and we get daddy issues. Anyway, so Klaus, after years of this like abusive training regimen and the fact that like he's constantly accosted by dead people a la Bruce Willis's little friend in The Sixth Sense, he just kind of snaps and starts doing a bunch of drugs. And Klaus is also like incredibly flamboyant and bisexual and is the dark horse of the family. And so kind of runs off and creates this Fantasyland cult for himself that I talked about in the last question. So the big thing of all Pokemon gyms from the 3 generations that I played is that you kind of get your way through the gym and then you walk into the big battle arena where the gym leader is. And so in my head, what you're walking into is like the Great Hall through the foyer of this Klaus cult mansion. And there, at the end of the Great Hall, sitting at a tea table, is Klaus with tea, because that's a very like Klaus thing to do. And so he invites you to come over for some tea. But oh no, it's not tea, it's Pokemon, because Pokemon put Pokemon in tea. So the first 2 Pokemon are going to be Sinistea and Poltegeist. Sinistea and Poltegeist. Now I know it's a little out there for a gym leader to actually have 6 Pokemon, but I thought since Sinistea was like a pretty low level weak Pokemon, that really the first Pokemon in the team
Matt,
is
let me quell your fears here. We all brought 6 Pokemon today.
Well, I know, but if I say it first, it makes me sound good. So you get through Sinistea and you get through Poltegeist, and I'm assuming you beat them because they're just sentient teapots, and we've all seen Beauty and the Beast. So the next Pokemon is Trevenant. I don't know. We're getting into the unknown realm.
Trevenant, because he's a tree.
Yeah, so he's a fucking tree, right? But the cool thing about Trevenant is that it's a ghost type Pokemon that, yes, is a tree, but also controls all of the other trees in the forest through ghost tree. I don't know.
Tree power.
Yeah, exactly. So
real talk, I love Trevenant. He's like
Trevenant's so rad, dude.
I love Trevenant.
Yeah, so
sorry, keep going.
You know, you get through the T, and then suddenly the windows burst out, and trees start to come in through the windows as you've got to fight another ghost Pokemon, because again, Klaus's whole damn shtick is that he talks to ghosts. He talks to ghosts. That's what he does, right? Okay, so the next one is Haunter, because we needed a Gen 1 Pokemon, and I really like Haunter. And in the anime, Haunter's like a big trickster and is like kind of the funny guy, especially of that episode where Ash like dies maybe. And so Haunter definitely fits in with Klaus's energy.
Wait, what?
He super dies.
He super dies. Okay, so then the last 2 characters, we get into like where Klaus's power really comes through. Because all throughout the series, both in the comic books and in the Netflix series, a lot of people look at Klaus as like a powerless burnout. All he can do is talk to ghosts. He's constantly high. He's constantly fucked up. Like, he is not looked at as a powerful being, but then he has these moments where he manifests this great supernatural power. And so once you knock through the first 4 Pokemon, you're getting into your last 2. The first one being Banette. I think that's how I've always pronounced it. Banette.
Banette, yeah.
Which I would like to read this section from Bulbapedia, which I'm sure that we will all do at some point today. Banette is a dark gray, doll-like Pokemon that is possessed by pure hatred. Pure hatred it is possessed by, which I think matches very well with Klaus's daddy issues that we're not going to go into anymore today. And then the last Pokemon on his team, the signature Pokemon, the one that you're like, oh god, have I grinded enough to beat this Pokemon in level 8, is going to be Spiritomb. Spiritomb. Do you know what Spiritomb is?
I know. I know what Spiritomb is.
I do not know what Spiritomb is.
Why don't you tell Todd what Spiritomb is?
Yeah, so Spiritomb's a fucking rock. It's a fucking rock with exactly 108 spirits contained in it, and that 108 spirits gets mixed together like the secret herbs and spices at KFC or the 23 ingredients in Dr. Pepper, and it makes a Pokemon, but it specifically has to be 108 spirits. I don't know why. That's what Bulbapedia said. So
it looks like a potato.
Yes,
A haunted potato.
it looks a lot like a haunted potato, but it's not a potato. It's a rock.
All right.
I mean, yeah,
it changes
Pokemon,
I
right?
guess.
So
Okay.
it's got 108 spirits in it, which like Klaus could talk to all 108 spirits. And you know what they say is like the total is greater than the sum of its parts. Well, imagine if you could communicate with the parts and the total like Klaus could with Spiritomb, the ghost type Pokemon filled with 108 ghosts. That's a gym, baby.
Do we know why 108 is the number? Did we get that? Is that just...
Bulbapedia says
No, I'm good.
that Spiritomb is formed by the collection of 108 spirits being trapped in an odd keystone by a traveler due to misdeeds it caused. Some of the spirits mixed in Spiritomb are ill-natured. Some Spiritomb are up to 500 years old. As seen in the anime, Spiritomb can be just as aggressive and destructive as the spirits it is composed of. It will lash out at anyone with little thought, often exercising short-sightedness in its pursuit of vengeance.
So is Generation 4 when everything just went off the rails? Is that what happened?
Yeah, pretty much.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Is that when we got the keys? Keys are Pokemon?
That was
that was
6.
Yeah.
Okay.
4 was all the retconned like third level ones. That's when they came out
Yeah.
with Magnamalis, Magnetron.
Magnezone.
Thank you.
Feels right.
Thank
Four,
you, Kyle.
4 was the Pokemon game for Pokemon fans and no one else. So
And
like
Kyle.
like if you're into Pokemon, Gen 4 is just the best thing ever. And if you're like on the fence about Pokemon, you're like, what the hell is all of this? And that's
And that's the
Gen 4.
one that just got re-released, right?
Correct.
There it is, SEO, baby. Spiritomb, new game. Getting the clicks. Getting them clicks.
All right. Awesome. Todd, what's your lineup for Mephisto?
I don't have a haunted potato, but I do have some pretty good stuff. So I also brought 6 because Mephisto's special. Mephisto gets 6. No one else gets 6. Mephisto gets 6.
Todd, we
Clearly,
all
except for
brought
number
6.
4.
It's one of the rules of the road. All right, so hope you're ready. Spoiler, you're not ready. All right, so we open up with Darkrai. Also, before I go any further, I don't know any of these Pokemon. I Googled
Excellent.
all of these with the exception of kind of one later.
Wow,
Anyway.
I hate that I know all of these.
I know.
Yeah, well, so for listeners at home, if you are like me and you don't play these games, I'll describe what they look like for you in this audio podcast. So I open up with Darkrai, which is like a spooky scarecrow ghost monster. It is here. It'll put you to sleep. It'll ruin your dreams, which we can all agree is pretty devilish and terrible.
If I haven't talked about it on this podcast before, Darkrai is like the Pokemon devil. Like that is
Great.
the lore of Darkrai. Yeah.
Listeners at home did not know that. That is a convenient thing. Andrew, I would like those points regardless, but I want everyone to know that was not intentional.
Todd walked backwards into those points.
Yep. And so next, if they get past Darkrai, we go to Mandibuzz. Now, see, my in-house Pokemon consultants advised me to have a flying type on the team. And so I went with this dark flying type that is literally a buzzard. It is a buzzard. It symbolizes death and shit. Also, Bulbapedia told me that it was featured in a TV show where it took other Pokemon's food, which I think we can all agree, pretty tricky and devilish and terrible. I would get mad if something took my food. Andrew, wouldn't you?
Are you putting the devil and seagulls on the same level?
Well, it's a
Right now?
vulture. It's a vulture, so it's different. It's like a death seagull. Anyway,
A goth seagull.
Yeah,
goth
is that
seagull.
cool? Vultures are
all right,
goth
so-
seagulls.
So once we've kind of gotten them like, oh, maybe this all isn't so bad. Anyway, boom, right back to the darkness. We are busting out Guzzlord. So
what is this
yeah.
monstrosity?
it is a Pokemon that I can only describe as like a twisted, dark, tentacled jack-o'-lantern abomination from your worst nightmares. It is here to have a big open monster mouth and punch you with those tentacle arms.
I love it.
Yeah, just really, really great. So I don't know if you're feeling over your head yet, but bad news, because up next we have Grimmsnarl. And
Yes.
Grimmsnarl, it is coming here to punch you in the face with its very real human-like hands. Because this thing, it looks like a goblin wearing an armor made out of shadowy tentacles again. Also, the real strategy here is Grimmsnarl helps cover some of the team weaknesses because it is both dark type and fairy type. And my in-house consultant, again, said that this guy was non-negotiable. He is horrible to be around, but I needed him on the team. So, you said there's like the signature Pokemon. So what the trainer thinks is the grand finale is a Galarian Moltres that comes out. You know, I remember Moltres, like giant flying firebird. The Galarian one is a bird burning with dark hate power.
It's that,
Check.
but goth.
Check,
the goth
devilish
version.
check.
Yep.
It's got eyeliner this time. So now that the trainer thinks they have won, we are not done yet. So Mephisto, seeing this kid of legend or whatever, winding its way through literal comic book hell, Mephisto actually had just a Hoopa on its team, and decided to expose Hoopa to a prison bottle. I do not know what those words mean, but that is what I did. And so that has turned Hoopa from this like delightful little thing in a hula hoop to what is called Hoopa Unbound. If you're not driving, you should Google that. Because Hoopa Unbound, much like all too well Taylor's version, Hoopa Unbound version is here to just make life really miserable for you in particular in this moment. It'll use its weird rings to give you the bongo treatment. It's going to punch you. It's going to punch you a lot. It's going to punch you right out of hell with its detached arms. Couple things real quick. No, this team is probably not tournament legal. And also, no, I will not be taking questions about the team and its tournament legality at this time.
Okay, thing one, I hope that no one ever has to expose their Hoopa to a prison bottle. Because that sounds terrible.
I do not know what those words in that order mean. I need
two,
that no.
I have seen The Suicide Squad, a James Gunn film, and Hoopa Unbound is just the detachable kid. He is TDK
He's just
from
TDK.
The Suicide Squad, a James Gunn film.
Some of the artwork for Hoopa Unbound is wild.
Hoopa
Just
Unbound
incredible.
seems to be the antagonist of a Pokemon movie. Of like it is the
feels right.
big bad of some movie.
Well, I mean, it's like if like Mewtwo and Ganondorf and Goro all became the same thing and were in a Pokemon game and they were waiting at the end of a hallway to just ruin your day.
yes.
Hoopa Unbound is also my favorite Kanye West album.
As soon as I saw, I was like, I in my research for this, I did a lot, and I was like, oh, why is Hoopa on all these lists? What is Hoopa Unbound? What does that mean? Oh.
Hoopa debuts in Hoopa's Surprise Ring Adventures, a series of shorts in which it subjects Ash and Pikachu to various acts of mischief.
Oh,
So-
see, that seems fine and harmless until it turns into Frieza and just starts punching you.
Kyle, Hoopa is like the Mew of Sun and Moon, right?
Yeah,
Am I remembering that
believe
right?
So yeah, I never had a Hoopa, but its stats match that.
Yeah, that I missed that album. All right, Kyle, let's talk about our boy Thanos. What you
All right,
got?
so Thanos, as I said, is gonna have a rock type theme. Each Soul Stone is gonna be represented by one of his Pokemon. So again, another 6 Pokemon party. You guys haven't done anything we didn't all think of already. So we're going to start out with our Mind Stone, which is Soul Rock. If you go ahead and look up Soul Rock, it is a sun-looking rock Pokemon. It's a rock psychic type. Only one of 2 rock psychic types, so that's our de facto Mind Stone for that reason there. Following Soul Rock is going to be our Time Stone stand-in, which is Stone Journer, which is a new one in Pokemon Sword and Shield. It is like Pokemon Stonehenge, basically. And the reason I chose it for our Time Stone stand-in is because once a year they gather, a bunch of Stone Journer gather in a circle and do a ritual to, like, welcome the solstice or something. It's very time-related, and it's a rock Pokemon, and I want it now. So
This Pokemon looks absolutely goofy.
This is the dumbest thing I've ever seen.
Wait, here's an unfortunate picture that'll be going in our show notes if you are one of our Patreon subscribers that get to read our show notes.
Stonejourner looks a lot like the two-legged monster from Monsters University. What was his name?
the one Charlie Day voiced.
Yes, yeah. He
Yeah,
looks. I'll drop
yeah.
a picture in the docs.
I love his derpy little face. He's just got 2 dots and a
derp
line for a
face,
face.
yeah.
Yeah.
Also, you said once a year they all gather in a what? What was that?
They gather in a more Stonehenge type formation, like they gather to form the Pokemon universe version of Stonehenge once a year.
Because Sword and Shield is in
Because Sword and
Pokemon
Shield is in
UK.
Pokemon Britain. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a whole thing.
It's a stone circle journer.
A stone circle.
I don't like that. That's nothing.
Stop everything about everything. So coming up next will be our Reality Stone stand-in, and this one was a little tricky because the rock type Pokemon don't get that creative, but I chose Aurorus, which is it's a fossil Pokemon. It's like an ice rock type, and the reason I chose it for reality is because it makes walls and other shapes out of ice, which is kind of like the Reality Stone. It also summons Aurora Borealis, so we get that like nice swishy shape that the Reality Stone is very known for. Don't think about it too hard as we move on into the next Reality Stone representing.
This Neopet is a rock type?
Yeah, right?
Wild.
So from there, we're going to go into, I'm going to mess up this pronunciation, but I think it's Nihilego, which is, again, I was surprised to learn was a rock type. It's kind of the one of the legendaries from Sun and Moon. And the whole plot of Sun and Moon is how someone is trying to summon this thing from a different dimension. So it's going to be our stand-in for our Space Stone. It's a big like flowy jellyfish thing.
Weird.
Yeah. That's rock type?
It's rock type. Rock
Same
poison.
question.
Rock poison, baby.
And of course, the first thing is Nihilego plushie.
Yeah. Oh, for sure.
Yep. Mm-hmm. So from there, we'll go to our Soulstone stand-in, which is Minior, a tiny meteorite Pokemon. It can be a couple different colors and forms based on what pollutants or whatever it absorbs while it's falling through the atmosphere. But I chose it simply because you can only get one in the Pokemon universe when they crash to the ground. When they violently crash to the ground, much like the only way you can get the Soul Stone in the MCU.
All right, yeah, okay, points for that. That was good.
Yeah, that's good.
And then I'll round it out with our signature Pokemon, the Power Stone stand-in for Thanos. For the Mad Tyrant, only fitting that his signature Pokemon is Tyranitar, the rock dark type. And if Mega types are allowed, it's gonna be Mega Tyranitar because it gets even cooler and gets like its own Thanos armor and is just, I think, the perfect Pokemon for Thanos and his rock type Infinity Stone team.
Boys, any
I mean, I think that was a neat flavoring. I almost took Tyranitar because I think you said it was also dark type.
Yeah, it is a dark type.
Mm-hmm.
It's a good one. It's a fun.
No, I chose it because it wasn't the best one. So
he's weirdly not a dragon either.
No,
Nothing's a dragon. Dragons aren't real dragons.
Because Tyranitar is a Gen 2 Pokemon, and they did a lot of, like, it's the thing from Gen 1, but not. So it was, like, the new type, Dark, that they introduced, and then, like, it's the same stat block as Dragonite, so it couldn't have been a dragon because they were doing the same thing but not. So there you go.
Cool. All right, awesome. That was really cool, Kyle. Well, let's go on to our third and final prompt. So now we know that you guys as your gym leaders are never going to win against the chosen protagonist because, again, as we said before, the chosen protagonist is the only one that doesn't have the restrictions of using only one particular type or doesn't have to just have Clefairies or Magikarps, right? So for a gym leader such as your chosen character, really the top spot, not necessarily champion, but that top desired spot is gym number 8. So for our Gen 1ers out there, that's the Team Rocket guy. That's Giovanni's gym, right? So
Yes.
the last gym that you go to right before the Elite Four, when you've got your team set up and you're just about to swipe through the end game, that gym number 8, that last gym leader, that is the most desired spot. So tell me how your chosen gym leaders beats the other 2 out of claiming that number 1, in this case, number 8 spot.
That was perfectly clear. I
Thank
wouldn't
you.
have changed
Thank
a
you.
single word that you
Perfectly
said in the
executed.
description.
No notes.
Stuck the landing.
Hey, yeah, so let's call it what it is. Probably not gonna beat him. It's okay with me. Why? Because we're a friendly ghost cult. Kyle and Todd brought gods to this fight. Also, ghosts pretty weak to dark type Pokemon. Now, there is exactly one ghost fairy Pokemon, and I had it in my lineup originally. However, narratively, I think it fits better for the super secret bonus question, so I didn't want to use it right away. So, chances of beating Todd, not great. Not great at all. Chances of beating Kyle, okay. Good, not great, but okay.
He's got a lot of dual types in there. That's true.
He does have a lot of dual types.
You might find some weaknesses to exploit there.
Yeah.
He also has gods, and the embodiment of nothingness or whatever Nihiligo is. So what I'm trying to say is, again, Klaus, very much a cult of personality type of person. And I think if you can't beat him, convince them to join your cult. So I'm just going to invite everybody to the mansion, and everybody can have their gyms. We'll just have y'all's gyms first, and then I'll be in the last gym, because I'm in the mansion, which is in the back of the cult compound, and we have more space to build your gyms in front of my gyms. So I'll be gym leader 8. Kyle, you can be 7. Todd, you can be 6. Listen, I'm not saying I can beat you. I'm just saying we can all play by the same rules.
I am bringing Guzzlord and Grimmsnarl with me, and that was a mistake that you let them into your house.
That was a mistake to say those names on our podcast.
Is it my turn, Andrew?
Yeah, go ahead.
It's all you, Todd.
Yep, you've blown out of the gate already, so.
Yeah, so I have my own notes on these because I don't understand anything Pokemon. My note to kind of like prompt me for this answer is just at Matt. LOL. Yeah, I didn't realize that was the way those types. I've had the type chart opened up this entire recording, and I was like, oh, that doesn't bode well for Matt's ghost type. So there's that. Also, to what you said, Matt, Guzzlord is half dragon, because why wouldn't?
Because of course he is.
That be part of a dragon, I suppose.
Because the cornucopia with mouth arms definitely can fly and is a dragon.
It looks like it has little wings on the. That's not important. Anyway, so it is well known that dark types are the strongest types of Pokemon in the game. Don't look it up. So beyond that, I think I have built, accidentally, a near bulletproof team that is effectively untouchable, unless you're the nerdy bug shorts kid from the beginning of the first game that has like bug type Pokemon, and no one else has that. No one's doing that.
Well, you could have fairy type Pokemon.
Well, no one's doing that either. That's not it.
He doesn't,
I checked.
he doesn't know about fairy types.
He doesn't
guys.
know
got-
about fairy types,
I've
and
got
a lot
the
of
chart open.
not a lot of
I've
Pokemon
got some.
fans would would disagree
I've
with
got
that, Todd.
I've got a half dark, half fairy type Pokemon on my team. That was a whole thing. I said Grimmsnarl. My lawyers wouldn't let me not have Grimmsnarl. I didn't want him. So anyway, but here's the thing. Even if Mephisto does get beat, even if that happens in the arena of battle, I have a literal army of nightmare beasts and Buzzard that will just, they're from beyond the pale, and in real life would do irreparable damage to someone's psyche and dreams if they ever had to deal with them in person. If Guzzlord shows up and is like, no, you didn't actually just win. I'm a giant mouth of tentacles. I'm gonna win. I'm gonna go play the next one. You're gonna be like, yeah, it's cool. You go. Also, you're dragon type, so that's pretty sweet. Anyway, outside of the arena of combat, we would render them unable to battle or compete. We'll bully you in real life with our terrible nightmare fuel.
Excellent. All right, Kyle. How do you beat the other two to get gym leader spot 8?
I mean, what is Thanos if not the Giovanni of the MCU, Andrew?
Very accurate.
Okay, wait, Kyle. In that case, who is Thanos' Persian?
Thanos' Persian is the Tyranitar. I said that.
No, I'm sorry.
Clearly.
Like, which MCU character is Thanos' Persian?
Oh.
If Thanos is the Giovanni of the MCU.
Is it
Is it
Ronan?
Gamora?
Is it Gamora?
No, that's Jesse and James or Gamora and Nebula.
Jesse and James. Okay, that's fair. That's fair.
I feel like this is a premise for another episode and we should stop.
It's
Yeah.
probably Ronan or
Yeah.
I was thinking Ebony Maw.
or one of the Ebony.
yeah.
Ebony Maw's the one who like simps.
He
real
kind of
hard
looks
for
like a
him, right?
Persian.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Ebony Maw is his simp.
Is a Thanos simp?
That's so good.
Can that be the title, Matt, please?
Sure. Why not?
But beyond that, it's just, you know, the other two don't have the will to succeed, Andrew. I'm gonna metagame with my pick 3 from your team of 6 limitation that my gym has, and I'm gonna metagame better than them and pick the right 3 to stomp the 3 they think will counter me, because that's how good Thanos is at knowing his shit.
I hope Thanos is ready for Hoopa Unbound to literally punch him in the face with big monster Pokemon hands. Is Thanos ready to catch those hands?
Thanos can catch hands. All this just for a drop of blood, Todd? Is that what you're
I would
saying?
not put. I do not think Hoopa Unbound is the Tony Stark of the Pokemon universe.
Honestly, it's not even Thanos that I'm worried about. If Kyle is in the background metagaming for Thanos, that's what I'm scared of.
Okay, well then Hoopa is going to in real life come bully you, human Kyle. Gonna show up.
He's gonna show a prison bottle to your Hoopa.
Kyle has already seen all 12 million possibilities and knows the one.
know the one
in which we
outcome.
win.
Yeah, that's true.
Matt, did you say he's gonna shove a prison bottle up your Hoopa? Is that what you said?
He did, in fact, say that, Todd.
God, that's the worst sentence we've said on this podcast.
It isn't. It's not even close.
It's in the running, but
Top
I
20.
Oh man.
Yeah, it's top 20 for sure.
Anyway, Andrew, can you go to the next question?
Todd, I would love to. Okay, so the thrilling climax, the end of every Pokemon game, is the protagonist goes to the Elite Four to become the champion of Pokemon or whatever. The
Pokemon
Elite
League
Four...
champion. Yes, you got
Shut
it.
up, Kyle.
You got it. You were,
I'm
you were
modding
right.
here.
I'm backing you up.
The Elite Four often are very much like gym leaders in that they have usually the same type or theme, but they are more flamboyant, more one note, more cartoonish than even the gym leaders that preceded them. So, not necessarily related to your answer here, but just give me a character when we come back. Give me a character from generally the same series environment as your gym leader that's going to rep in the Elite Four. So it doesn't necessarily have to be the same character, just somebody that they're close to. And we will come back in just a bit.
hey, are you ready for Mephisto to be in this show? Because he's gonna be in this show.
From the nerds that debate this comes The Plus is Loose, a podcast where we break down every episode of the latest MCU shows being aired on Disney+.
Dottie was going to be the embodiment of Mephisto.
I feel very strongly that whether it was Mephisto,
I do not think this is Mephisto.
I Mephisto, you Mephisto. I'm going to keep saying Mephisto. Or Mephisto, shards of Mephisto.
Mephisto.
It's Mephisto. How many times can we say Mephisto in this podcast?
Each week, we talk through plot details, Easter eggs, and our own predictions for how the shows will end.
Her husband, who she talks about but we've yet to see, is likely going to be Mephisto.
He, she, me, Mephisto.
The mailman is Mephisto.
Everyone is Mephisto.
Mephistology, the study of Mephisto.
Okay, so let's talk about this Mephisto bit.
Schindler's Mephisto.
Find us on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, or wherever you download podcasts.
What we didn't get were any Mephisto sightings.
I'll be at the bar drinking a beer and waiting for Mephisto to show up.
And we're back. All right, our super secret bonus question is pick a character from the series, franchise, general vicinity of your chosen gym leader comic book character that is going to appear in the Elite Four, the thrilling climactic group of baddies at the end of each Pokemon game. We will start with you, Matt.
Right, okay, Andrew. So imagine this. You walk into whatever room of the shut up, Kyle.
Nope.
I tried to
not.
get through. I tried to just like power through that stupid joke,
But
and I
it wormed
bad.
its way through your head and you couldn't ignore it. I saw it happen.
pretty upset about that. Anyway, so imagine you walk into like room 2 of the Elite Four or whatever, and it's all like kind of Agatha'd out, not Agatha Harkness, Agatha from the
Got it.
Fantastic Four, and so like it's ghosty and dark, and then who do you see sitting in the Final Four chair but Klaus, who you already beat once, and you're like, Klaus, what are you doing here? I beat your ghost. You gave me your badge. And he's like, oh no, I'm just here as a formality. It's like a logistics thing. And then bang, he manifests a ghost, and that ghost is his brother. And it's number 6, Ben Hargraves. And that's the last member of the Elite Four. Because like, okay, so here's the thing about Umbrella Academy. Mostly in the Netflix show, but like kind of in the comic books too, Klaus is what we call a plot device. Why is Klaus there? It's so we can cast Justin H. Min as Ben Hargraves. Who's Ben Hargraves, you ask? He's number 6 who died before the comics started. Comic book, episode 1, issue 1, they're like, number 6 died. This is after number 6 was alive. But he still pals around with the gang because Klaus can see dead people. And so Klaus can see Ben, who died, who's like hanging out with him, but nobody else really knows he's there because he's dead. But Klaus sees dead people. And so when Klaus gets really powerful, he can manifest Ben, and then Ben can use his powers. And what's Ben's power, you ask? It's probably the coolest power in the Umbrella Academy. I'm dropping a picture in our Google Docs. He has an interdimensional hole in his chest, and there's an eldritch horror monster that lives inside of it.
It summons an illegal.
Yeah, and it bursts, an interdimensional horror monster bursts out of Ben's chest to beat up bad people. And the 2 ghosts that I picked to be on his team, and the other 4 don't matter, are Mimikyu and Cophagrigus. Why? Because they both have arms that shoot out from them. So,
Wow.
boom. Boom. I say again, boom.
I gotta say, Matt, that's a really good pull.
Yeah.
And to cinch it with Mimikyu, the fucking Pikachu, the mimic Pikachu that's a horrifying tentacle monster is. That's really fucking good.
Good pull.
Thank
man.
you.
Kudos.
Thank you.
Todd, next is you.
Did you say extra dimensional horror filled tentacle monster? Anyway, we thought we were getting Mephisto, but what you actually end up with at the end of this is a actual demon monster in the Elite Four, and that is an ancient demon made out of sheer power. We're bringing in Shumagorath. So also an extra dimensional tentacle monster of your nightmares. The thing that must scream but has no mouth is here to slap its hellish armored skin tentacles just all around. And here's the thing: no lineup changes from what I've presented today, but that is because I don't know how many other Pokemon exist that have tentacles. And as of typing out this quick answer, I refuse to Google the phrase Pokemon tentacles on my work computer. So
you just have to throw the whole thing out when you're done.
You just shoot a nail gun through the screen and throw it in the garbage. So I'll take any suggestions for monsters with tentacles. Bonus points if they don't have mouth but want to scream. But I got nothing else to add.
Tangela.
Tentacruel.
Those are two great ones, guys. That keep them coming. 4 more for me.
Tangela. Nope. 3 more times. And
is there an Alolan? Is there an Alolan Tangela?
There's not an Alolan Tangela.
There's Tangrowth.
There's Tangrowth.
You know what? I don't like this. You don't need to do this for me.
You did this to yourself. Yeah.
Well,
there are better options.
Well, Andrew, as the only person to bring a tentacle monster from your nightmares to this podcast today, I think that my answer is sufficient.
Sure. Kyle.
All right, Andrew, I went ahead and took the liberty of filling out the whole Elite Four and the champion for you.
Jesus
today.
Christ.
So when you go to challenge the Elite Four in this MCU Pokemon mashup game, you are going to first do a double battle against Clint and Natasha, the normal type Elite Four member. If you beat them, you'll get to move on and fight the Hulk, which will be a grass type Elite Four battle. If you beat the Hulk, you move on to the electric type Thor. Beat Thor, you move on to the fighting type Captain America or Steve Rogers, depending on what we're calling him in this. And then the champion will, of course, be the showdown between Thanos and Iron Man, the steel type champion of the Pokemon League. If you beat him, you get the whole shebang. So there we go.
All right. Kyle, let's wrap this in a bow. Now I know this wasn't part of the question, but what is Iron Man's signature Pokemon?
It's a Scizor because it is specifically a Scyther that you evolve by covering in a metal coat. So
perfect answer.
Seems lazy, Pokemon.
Yeah, no.
Do better, Pokemon.
I put that much effort to get my free Chipotle burrito once a year. When I put tinfoil all over my body.
All right, guys. Well, now is your chance to give me one last argument. Give me them closing statements. Tell me why your answer was the right answer, Matt.
Umbrella Academy is really cool. Congrats, Kyle.
That was the pitch for yours to be the winner.
That was the closing statement. Yep.
Yeah, Andrew. When you actually go with Mephisto's team, what you get is 1 Hoopa, a prison bottle, and no other issues. So what I'm telling you is you can actually come to the dark side and fulfill the actual desire to have Mephisto in a tangible product that you get to consume in some way, shape, or form instead of just hoping for the next 3 more years.
Andrew, as my closing statement, let me just say that with this Pokemon problem brought to you, you could not live with your own failure. So where did that bring you? Back to me. I got you. Well, I'll take care of it. It's going to be Thanos. He's going to be the 8th gym leader. It'll be fine. I got you. Don't worry about it.
Excellent. All right. Good vibes. Something. I have to go pitch to somebody. Who fucking cares? Good vibes.
Framing device.
This was fun. I enjoyed this. This is about as interested as I am in Pokemon anymore. I'm glad you still love it, Kyle, but like every time I try and play a Pokemon game, I'm like, man, nostalgia is way better than actual experience. But this was fun. I enjoyed talking about Umbrella Academy, and I really enjoyed what you guys talked about. Todd, you brought Mephisto back up, and I have generational trauma because of that, but, you know, it's fine. Whatever. I think that what you did with Dark-type Pokemon was definitely fun, and you accidentally included Pokemon's Devil, and you deserve some points for that. Kyle, hey, good job, man. You're clearly better at this than the rest of us, and it showed today. But I really liked what you had. Being able to map a different Pokemon into each Infinity Stone was really fun. I really liked Minior as the Soul Stone because it falls out of the sky. That was very fun. Yeah, good times all around.
Thank you.
Matt, I should really watch The Umbrella Academy, I guess. I hear it's a pretty good show, and everything you said was like, that seems pretty good. I'm glad there's someone else on this podcast that has a cursory knowledge of Pokemon, a drive-by, knowledge of Pokemon, because I know very little, and it's nice that you're kind of close to that with me sometimes. Kyle, you did a really cool thing that you put a lot of love and effort into. You spoke your answer with the passion that I speak of Super Mario RPG. And I can respect and hate that all at the same time with equal levels.
Thank you. Guys, I like both your gyms.
Oh, he put us together so that we can lose together.
I'm gonna go one at a time too, but I like both your gyms. This is like if you guys went up against Andrew in a Final Fantasy question, or Todd in a Halo
we haven't
question.
done that before.
I know.
No, you haven't.
Is that what you? Okay, time out. First off, don't let Andrew have his moment. Kyle, is that the category you want to put yourself into?
I can't deny that. It's if I'm being real.
I hope that the podcast gets across the fury in which Andrew said no, you haven't. His eyes got really, really wide.
I have nothing to say. Keep going.
Nothing to say. Matt, I really like your ghost one because it's very on theme for Klaus, first of all. And second, it's the only one brought today that resembles what could actually be like a team they would have a gym leader have in the game. Because it's a baby game for kids. And like it's mostly meant to be like, oh, isn't that a cool Pokemon? The two teacups and like T-set Pokemon, like that's something they would legitimately do in the game. And Todd and I were just like, wouldn't these Pokemon be awesome to have on my team? So like,
what if these Pokemon formed a kicking circle around an inexperienced player?
So I very much appreciate that you did that. Good job. And again, right on theme for Klaus and the Elite Four question with Ben with number 6 is very good. All very great. And Todd, you took what if the devil had Pokemon and you ran wild with it, and I'm very happy at the outcome. And you got us all to say Guzzlord more than once in our podcast, which is just makes me feel gross and
a crime.
Yep, it's a real crime that you committed against us today. So good job, guys.
Awesome. I gotta say, guys, I was blown away by all 3 of these answers. That is not a joke. And Kyle won, but Kyle did not win. Kyle, the Aberdeen Canyon of the between the 3 of you. It's not as wide as you may think. There was a point where each of you were number 1 in my mind. So I'm gonna give my own good vibes and not just shower Kyle with praise here. Matt, I thought some of the picks that you made were. Personally, I think ghost types are like the best Pokemon in the franchise. Specifically, like things like Trevenant, Pumpkaboo, and Chandelure. Like those are some of my favorites, just because like they're just so stupid and like stupidly awesome. I love that you can have like a haunted
Pokedex
tree.
entries are like these eat kids alive, and like it's amazing.
Well, so funny story. I forget what year we did it in our intro, but there was a year where we had a bit that was Todd saying, well, I know the doll is bad. The I know the doll is bad is when I talked about Banette 3 years ago.
Uh-huh.
Yep.
Yeah. Yes.
Which is a great pool. And I gotta say, man, like your bit about Mimikyu and the what are interdimensional tentacle monster, that was really good. It was really good.
A really good.
Thanks.
Pool.
So you had it for a while. Todd, you also had it for a bit. I thought your breakdown or your team was the most interesting team. It wasn't. Some of my favorites. Grimmsnarl is a Pokemon I just learned about today.
Incredible Pokemon
because he evolves from one called Impidimp.
I have to imagine that when like a creator gets a Pokemon to pass like that, they're like $5,000 additional on your paycheck for Impidimp.
He's great. He's like a dumb little Krampus. He's so good.
He's good too. These later games since Gen 6, they definitely like seed the roster out like when you get to this point, you will encounter these Pokemon, and you will put it on your team. And Impidimp and Grimmsnarl are like that for Gen 8 for sure.
It's funny, that was in my mind because I started playing Shield again after all the discourse about Gen 4, and I just caught an Impidimp earlier today, and I've been power leveling him because I looked up what his evolve was, or evolution. Anyway, Hoopo's a great pick. Galarian Moltres looks fucking awesome, and it's like of course, like Mephisto would become riding on a flaming falcon,
flaming hate bird. Yeah.
So, and of course, Kyle, that was an incredibly creative answer. I mean, I think that what really solidified it for me was Tyranitar being the signature Pokemon, because like that's Thanos. Like, it looks like Thanos in his battle gear. Like, it's really good, man.
Yeah.
And then this fucking stupid ass Stonehenge monster. Get the hell out of here. Yeah, no, I mean, this was all really good, guys. You got excellent job all around. So with that, thanks so much for listening to Debate This. You can follow along with the arguments on Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram at DebateThisCast, or on our website at debatethiscast.com. Until next time, I'm Andrew Henderson, and we're saying thanks for debating with us. And I fucked up the closing because I didn't
kick it over to us.
Didn't type it out with your human fingers.
I didn't type it out with my human fingers. All right, I'm going to take that all again so I don't say until. Until next time, I'm Andrew Henderson.
I'm Matt. Jamie's got a prison bottle. Her whole hoopas come undone. Cole.
I'm Todd. I'll send an SOS to the world. I hope that someone fights my hoopa with a prison bottle. Thomas.
Well, now I gotta do a Hoopa one, guys. I didn't have a Hoopa one ready. I'm Kyle. Didn't have a Hoopa quote ready. Harper.
You were saying everything around for swing sets.
Oh, man.
Whew.